Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. How much is crime costing the country? It's the question being asked this evening after business and consumer confidence fell for the third consecutive time this year. As Jamaica Maitland reports, crime is a common crippling factor for business groups.
Crime continues to crush business and consumer confidence in the economy. This according to the results of the latest Don Anderson-led market research poll. Both businesses and consumers have listed crime in an unprompted response as the reason for the negative outlook.
62% of all consumers we interviewed said crime and violence. That 52% of the businesses say that crime and violence is the most critical issue facing the country at this point in time.
More than 600 consumers and roughly 125 businesses were a part of the study. President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Sidney Thwaites, explains that despite the reduction in crime, the fear of crime is still high. As of October 12, major crimes are down by 14%.
If you talk to the average owner of a business or the average Jamaican on the street and you told them that our crime is down, how many are going to actually believe you? Not very many. Whenever I say it in a group of even business owners, they tell me that's not true because the feeling is not there, because the cost burden is getting so burdensome for these businesses. Wow. So it's really and it's a cost we have that our competitors in other places do not have.
Businessman P.B. Scott says crime is crippling the productivity of the country.
But if you can't get a workforce to work between 12 and 6 in the morning because they don't feel comfortable, they'll agree, but the absenteeism that you have because they don't feel comfortable traveling in the dark, walking from the bus stop because you don't have lights, you have no security, that destroys productivity. And that's fundamentally going to be the story of Jamaica.
Mr. Scott said the economy is bearing the burden of it despite Jamaica boasting the lowest unemployment rate in history. The Planning Institute of Jamaica last month reported that the economy remains flat with an estimated growth of 0.1% for the April to June period. And with the passage of Hurricane Beryl in July, it could get worse. As for how to address the issue of crime and violence.
And if we look back at what the consumers said, a lot of this is echoed by the business sector. So we can take a look at that and say, well, maybe we should look at those possible solutions and see how we can work together with the authorities responsible for crime and violence to reduce the level that we're currently experiencing.
Jamaica Maitland, TVJ News.
The JSE main index gained 908 points today, while the junior market index went up by 4 points. Among the winners, EPLI 7.5% preference shares, which led the 42 shares which advanced today. It was followed by medical disposables and supplies, AMG packaging and paper, Mayberry Jamaican equities, and Iron Rock Insurance. 45 stocks lost ground today, including JMMB Group 5.75% US dollar preference shares, The Lab, MFS Capital Partners, Tropical Battery, and Sagicor Group. Banks and cambios are selling the US dollar for an average $159.09. The Canadian dollar traded at $115.01. $206.88 is the average selling rate for the pound, while the euro is going for $173.45. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Good evening.